And come to the master brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics reaction, guys. Big up all the masses for definitely tuning into these vibrations, including that of the Mystelics family. Big up all yourself for being a part of these vibrations yet again. Big up all yourself. I appreciate you guys coming straight from the heart. And of course, the newcomers out there, big up all yourself. The newcomers out there, big up all yourself for being a part of these vibrations. So see what's up on this channel. Of course, this is where I give my views on a number of things pertaining to that of the Caribbean. Of course, Dominica is that the main focus, and of course, linking back to the international community. Back in that spectrum right there, collaborating on that effort, international, regional, and of course local. And of course, this is your boy where I give my views, so I want to hear your views as well. Leave your views in the comment box below, guys. I would appreciate that. And of course, if you want to become a part of the Mystelics family, definitely do what? Subscribe and turn on that post notifications, so you can definitely do so. Click subscribe, click the bell, and then click all. I'll be notified when I drop my videos and upload my videos and publish them right there. I would appreciate that in that regard. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that as well, helping to push these videos further and further out there. Definitely click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. And of course, at the end of this video, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, this one is of course Trinity, the Calypso name is Calypso season. We want to see what he has to say right there. Let's take a listen.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dominicans at home and abroad.
Okay, good morning.
Foreigners alike. Now, I'm going to say something there. It's going to strike some nerves, but I do care less. You check, and you see, because it's time for us to speak some hard truth. It's time for us to be confronted with some hard truths, and don't care what people think, what they say. You check. Now, I know a lot of people, well, some of them is coming up with a new strategy, a new psychological strategy to gaslight people, you know, into thinking that whenever they come out and they speak out on things, when they see certain things and they speak out on it, it's like they portray themselves as an expert. Well, I'm an expert now, and listen to the expert. Because if that's what it is, whenever I come out or whenever somebody come out and speak their opinion and say what they have to say based on what they see going on around them, okay, fine.
Well, I mean, that is the person's opinion. Everybody have the ability to express their opinion. The problem is when you give them facts on their opinions and they still decided as my opinion. So what is the point of telling us your opinion if you don't want to wait on the facts? I don't get it. That's another story right there. Let's continue.
But that's not going to manipulate me into not talking. I'm going to say what I have to say because it has to be said. We have some artists here in Dominica that at the height of their success, right? And they forget where they come out. They forget where they come out. You check me? And you see, that is why I will always respect Asa Bantan. Asa Bantan will always be highly respected, and Benji too. Because these guys, they do for their community. They give back to their community. You check?
Although what he's saying, they make sense, and they definitely do give back to the community. But keep in mind, they are also associated with other companies. These companies use them to give back to the community right there. They are linked with this company. They are linked with that company. They are ambassadors so far of these certain companies. And as a result of that, they are able to give back from these companies, not from their salaries. Just like when Scary come in and say they do a number of things in the place. They taking your money to give you back and you think it's from their salary coming out. Okay, not so it happening. But it's a good thing when they are able to link with these companies and then use these companies to give back to to certain people or whatever. I remember when Asa had his Polo, that is his name, Polo, that partner there, and he went with Flo, and Flo, I think, it was able to give him something for his birthday or something of that sort, if I have it correct, brother and sister. So he's linking up with the companies and then having these companies filtrate certain things through the community as being the ambassador right there. I've done a number of things in the United States, especially when it comes down to products, where I give a number of products to a number of persons. But obviously, that is in the United States, where you link up with people, you give them, if you want certain things, you get massive discounts in that regard and all those kind of things there. That is a whole separate kind of vibe. So I understand it from that point of view. It doesn't necessarily come from me, but I pinpoint to certain people where these things can come to, and they get links in that regard from that. So it's the same concept that happens in Dominica. So not necessarily, yes, you might see me say they're going out there, and you see the faces of them going out there, but they're also backed by companies. Not all the artists that you see outside, they are backed by companies. Some of them are actually doing it on their own accord to see if they can get different places, that of which their own country has not helped them. So I understand you might say about Ace, and you understand about Triple K. These people are backed by certain companies. I don't know how the company is benefiting from them. There's a whole lot of story right there, but you know, there are booyah individuals, people who are championing because of the booyah music, and obviously as a result of them being there for years, the companies link up with them, and then they are able to give back to the community through these companies. Not saying that these people don't do things on their own, you know. I'm just saying more of what they tend to do is from the very companies that they are associated with. So don't just say, oh, these artists are not giving back, and these artists this and that, this and that. You have to realize that some of the artists in Dominica are backed by certain businesses, and others doing it on their own. And when they elevate as a result of the outside world that propel them, you then want them to give back. And don't get me wrong, you know, giving back is cool. But it's always interesting when I ask people about home. And there are some people out there. I remember a particular guy I was talking to. He was a big partner on one of the networks on TV. And I went to have a meeting with him. And he told me that they ill-treated his parents. And one of the reasons why he actually was promoting Dominica after Maria so that they can get resources and this kind of things there, whatnot, blah, blah. I actually sent him some of my videos so he can post up and so forth so that people can get relief and so all kind of things, brothers and sisters. But he was telling me that very interesting thing. The reason why he doesn't promote himself as a Dominican, because Dominica never saw him as their own. Dominica never saw his family as their own. In fact, they used to abuse them until they left and went to the United States. And their son became somebody real important in society. So it's very interesting when you're saying this. I understand where you're coming from, but you have to also look at particular individual stories, because sometimes the very home doesn't treat you like their own.
When being the biggest and the baddest and the best is not just you releasing the most songs or the most hit songs. It's about what difference you make in your communities, what difference you make in your country, how you represent your people.
But it's interesting that you're talking about artists. What about the Prime Minister? What about the people of society who are being paid to do things for the country and they are not doing it? And the reason why I pointed this out, because I actually had an argument with an individual some months ago, brothers and sisters, in Dominica. And he was saying, well, what have you done for your country? I say, I help a number of persons in a number of things. I don't have to put it out there for people to see. The people themselves, they know what they're benefiting from. But what have you done for your community and all those kind of things there? So you mean to tell me I have to go out there, I have to fix road when we are already paying government road through license and all those kind of things there? We paying them. I have to go out there because there's potholes. I have to add money again on top of that to go and fix pothole. What about the government's responsibility of taking care of the very people that are already paying him? We want the artists to do it, but we don't want our officials to do it. That is, something wrong in that ideology. Don't get me wrong, you know, the artists should do something in their own capacities. If they want to, or if they feel led to. Some people are only doing it because they feel, hey, I forced to. No. If they feel led, this is why it comes straight from the heart. This is why the heart is important, brothers and sisters. So when you're talking about individuals doing things, what about the very people that we have elected to do things for us and they're not doing it? When are we going to hold them responsible instead of looking at the artists?
You check? No. You see, it has some artists here. They don't know what it is to give back to their community, to their supporters, to the same people that supported them, that encouraged them, that was there for them.
But sometimes these people are actually overseas. They're not in Dominica. Some of us actually grew up in Dominica trying to do things with people laughing at us, saying you never do this, never do that, until overseas people start calling on the radio and asking about you. and all kind of thing. Then people check out what on earth is going on. Can you imagine that? There are people who have met me who have no connections to Dominica except for the person that they've married. And it's that person that told the Dominican person about my videos. And I've noticed that a number for other artists as well. Remember when they were dogging a particular artist, I wouldn't call his name, dogging a particular artist until Saint Martin picked him up and gave him all sorts of things, and then people start respecting the man. You forget? So it's not just saying certain things. We have to look at reality, brothers and sisters. We always look at what we can get, never what the country can actually give to the people. One of the reasons in the music industry in Dominica, it literally fails the artists. It fails them, brothers and sisters. Fails them. When Triple K then they go a number of places and these kind of things there, and they say they go to the United States, backyard, they go in and perform and those kind of things there. When will they host a jam like what Marshall Montano doing? When will they host something like that? Because their own people doesn't support them in that regard. To even propel them, they come and do backyard performances. Hey, if you can't get your money, do your back. Don't get me wrong, you know. I myself have done a few backyard gigs here and there when it comes on to videography. No doubt about it. I've also done international things as well, traveling all over the place and so forth, brothers and sisters. But you have to look at the aspect of where they're propelling, who is propelling you, and who you give kudos to. Where you're from, you try to help those who want to learn from you. Definitely, when people asking me questions about YouTube and this kind of things, I'm giving them my views. I've helped a number of persons in the YouTube industry, you know, from Dominica. In fact, I was from Silicon Valley. I had to help a number of persons to actually push so that they can send more advertisers to Dominica. That's when I had my other channel that I had to delete right there. To help push advertisers so that Dominicans can literally make YouTube a career. And the very Dominicans themselves failed. There's about 10 of us, brothers and sisters. Today is only like probably three of us that, well, that self is debatable. When it comes up to it. It's just interesting, guys. Let me just continue.
When there was nothing. You understand? And now, and all they're doing is take, is grab. Right? They only about themselves. They greedy.
Sometimes all you don't know how the struggle is for certain people, you know. You might see them in the limelight and you see them on YouTube and you see them on singing videos and all kind of things, but you have no idea the kind of struggle people have to go through to get them there, and you telling them that the people who are not supporting them man, oh boy, let me leave that. Let's continue.
They don't care about their fans. They don't care about the people that was there with them from the beginning, supporting them and watching them grow.
If that is the case, then I agree with you. Your fans and the people who support you are the ones who make you who you are. They are the ones who make you who you are today.
To at least come back and say, you know what, hey, let's put a little team together now. Let's do something for the community now. Let's do something. Let's do something. Use the platform and the resources they have to help, to give back.
And I understand what he's saying there, but sometimes you reach out to the officials to try to help you. They themselves cannot even help you. So you're supposed to squander and try to do things here and there and struggle. Sometimes you don't even get back the return on the investment that you put in. Brothers and sisters, it's a very slippery slope. I agree with what he's saying there, but it's a very slippery slope to understand the circumstance. I was listening to one of the founders of Pinnacle, brothers and sisters. Me and I was having a conversation and, you know, talking about different things. She came from one of the poorest nations in South America. And we were talking today. She's a multi-millionaire. And she told me, you know what? Anything that way, you know that they bring us up and those kind of things under Obama, and they were teaching us a number of things. She said, it doesn't matter where you do or try to do things. If you do not have certain things that can propel a business or be conducive for a functioning business that can propel it, doesn't matter what on earth you do, that business will either just be on a survival basis or it will cool. She didn't say cool. It will finish. It will end. It would not survive. That's the term that she utilized. But it will cool, brothers and sisters. It would not make sense to do that, knowing that you're in a place where your business is going to cool. It doesn't. Sometimes you need to migrate to other places to elevate yourself. Kind of like the individual I was talking about, the individual on the news, who's from Dominica. Elevation. But you must be in a place that's conducive to elevate so you can actually do things. But if you're in an economy that's not doing well and people are spending power to help, sometimes you're hosting concerts and so forth, and not much people showing up for these things. And you call it local vibrations, brothers and sisters. Sometimes the only time you get people to come in is when you bring in artists from overseas to come and bring their people who want to see them. I remember when Burna Boy was coming to Dominica, and a number of persons say they don't come in Dominica until they announce Burna Boy coming. They say they're not coming, brothers and sisters. Anyways, that's a whole other story right there. Let's continue.
To their community at least. And that is what Asa Bantan doing. That is what people like Benji doing. You check? And I respect them, man, there. You check it? And that is what all artists that reach at the height of their success should be doing.
I don't think no artist in Dominica reached the height of their success. None. No artists. I'm thinking of a number of them. Maybe back in the day, people like Gordon Henry. Well, I don't even think they reached the height of their success. People like Jeff, Jody's folks there, did they even reach the height of their success? People like, I can think of one, Nazio Fontaine. But even Nazio Fontaine, I don't think he reached the height of his success. Although this is very much debatable, considering that he was considered the reincarnated Bob Marley. So where exactly reached the height of success that you're talking about? You're talking about the present trend that people have right now? If you're talking about the present trend, then that doesn't mean the height of success. These people are just running on a particular wave, hoping that they can capitalize on other opportunities. Sometimes when the opportunities themselves present themselves, you still squander it. You know? So it's one thing when you're riding the wave, it's another thing when you're establishing as a result of the wave. There's a huge difference right there. But of course, I guess we all have our definitions of what success is.
And the guilty ones know themselves, the greedy ones, the selfish ones, the pompous ones, the arrogant ones, the ones that think they're on top of the world now. I think they...
Guys, sorry about that. My thing just filled up right there. But let me just end this thing right there, guys. And let me just run this thing and then end it after.
They can walk on people and spit on people. They know themselves. All you know yourself.
But if artists are doing that, they need to stop their dirty ways. Simple. If you're doing these kind of things, you need to stop. You should not even be an artist in the first place.
All you ungrateful, because you forget all your community, all you forget where you come from, all you know yourself.
But the question is, did the community even elevate them in the first place? In Jamaica, one of the things that I like about Jamaica is when you see an artist coming up, everybody rallying around that person, especially that person is talented. We have a number of talented individuals in Dominica that they're literally being forsaken. They're literally being forsaken, and when they go outside there and they make it, then we come to say, oh yeah, look, hey, really? Then you come out of the community, they're supposed to help the community. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Do you think that artists who are forgotten by their own community should actually help the community? Let me know your thoughts in that regard right there.
You check me? Asa will always be the boss. Benji will always be, them two men there will always be on top.
These two men are being heavily organized by businesses. They are being organized by businesses. I mean, heck, when you get in a truck from one of the companies right there for you to drive, I mean, that helps. That says something, doesn't it? And you get in a big truck from one of the companies, doesn't that say something? It's not just they acting on their own. The question here is, before all the companies actually reach out to them, were they doing the same thing? Were they out there distributing things and all those kind of things there? Were they? I think that is a question that needs to be asked right there. Although we see them now, and what they're doing, no doubt about it, kudos to them. But were they doing this before? And you want artists to do the same thing that they are not even in that position today, like they are right there. So I think that is very interesting.
Because they represent their people. They show love, they give back. And the best form of marketing is the word of mouth marketing. That one tell their friend and their friend tell their friend and that and it's so. So when Asa Bantan help his community go out with this, the news spreading.
Sorry about that, guys, yet again. But we are back, of course. Let's end this stuff.
And people getting to have that love. See what Asa do for his community. You know, that wet fed thing, the breakfast, this and that.
But they have sponsors. They have a lot of sponsors in that regard. You know, They did the work, no doubt about it. They elevated the platform, and as a result of that, sponsors are able to come in to help them. Other artists doesn't necessarily have these things. Some of them are still trying to work on the kinks.
You know, that man give back. You check, Asa Bantan will go and he will work for his community. He will see those in need and he will use his platform to raise some funds, do something and help. You check, Benji would, you know, find his creative ways and so on to help certain people in his community and do something. That is how you do. You check, don't just think about your fame and your money and your this and your that. And when you,
I really don't think it's that. I really honestly don't think it's that at all. I mean, it doesn't mean that some of the artists are not like this, but I really don't think it's that.
You're walking on the road, you think you're on cloud 9,
That's
and like
crazy.
everybody that's at
You walking on the same pothole roadway, or you can think you're on cloud like walking on the same pothole road. What?
Hey, what? That is nothing. That is nothing. What legacy you live in? You check.
Well, they live in the legacy through the music, but I get your point.
You don't live in back no legacy. You just about your self fame. You just greedy. Some of them just greedy and selfish. You check me? I don't care about them young little fellas that come out there and busting and making hits, you know. Not them man I talking about. Don't get me wrong.
Who are you talking about then?
You check, I don't care about Kenny G and them man and them fellas there. No. I talk about the people and them, the group and them, they know themselves. Them guilty ones know themselves.
I think you need to call out names, man. We oftentimes have to be wondering who you talking about. Call out the artists' names. Call their names out. Why we have to be guessing and third guessing? What is that?
They know themselves. All you on top of the volley, all you performing Creole Festival, you going to tour around the world, all you on at the height of all your fame.
Who touring around the world? Who? Who's touring around the world? Maybe he's just using that as a phrase or something.
Right? And all you forget all your community, all you ungrateful, and people should not be supporting all you. You check? People show all your love. People was there and people still showing all your love because they don't know.
But you see, it's interesting that you're talking about people showing them love. Now, there's something that I have to learn when you say come down, especially when it comes down to being social media. People may not necessarily like you. They like what you say. They like what you do on social media. They may not necessarily know you personally. That's one of the things that individuals need to understand. There's a huge separation when it comes down to the artist and the person right there. We love their music. We love the way they sing. You like what they're saying in their music and this kind of things. They're whoop, great. But you don't know the person. The person might be vastly different from what they're saying in their songs. They only saying these things because the song's nice to hear and this kind of things. When you look at different celebrities and this kind of people there, I was going to mention one. I actually met him and people were telling me that, you know, they don't like his vibe and all the way he dealing with people. I'm like, he deals with me pretty cool. But it depends on how you deal with other people and this kind of things. Whereas when you listen to the person's songs or different artist songs, I don't want to put because I suspect you might know who I'm talking about. But anyways, when you put up person's songs and people's songs and all those kind of things, you like the music of them. And sometimes that is the legacy that people want to leave. Sometimes people don't even want the spotlight. They don't want the spotlight at all. All they want is for the music to go out there, and music can literally change lives. The person might not be able to change lives, but their music changed lives. So I think there's a huge disparity, so to speak, when it comes down to the artists and things. So we mustn't always look at what the artists saying or the height of their career and this kind of. That is a career business, brothers and sisters. Just like the same thing like a normal career. You see people going out there and doing like they giving away stuff and think sometimes they give away stuff because they're getting commissions on it. Yes, you might think they're doing it from their heart, but they're getting commissions. You think they will be there in the first place? Okay.
They don't know of all your ungrateful and unkind side because they don't know.
Exactly, you know, that's my point.
The real story, all the real background, where you come from and so on.
But it's not that is not what gravitated them to. That's not what gravitated the people to them, you know. What gravitated the people to them was the music. Not who they are, their music.
They don't know, but a lot of people maybe have a clue of what I'm talking about. All you artists that are doing that, all you need to fix that and stop that. Give back to all your community. Remember where you come out.
As I'm thinking of the Calypso arena, brothers and sisters, even when the artists themselves come out and they showcase things and so forth, they don't even respect the artists. Remember, I say respecting, not respecting. They don't even respect the artists, much less to respect the artists. You know what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters? Dice. Dice has been doing a phenomenal job when it comes down to the artistry world in Calypso. And they couldn't respect him, brothers and sisters. The man 10 Calypso king. And they didn't respect him. I mean, people had to be pushing and calling on radio and all kind of things to try to help out. The very community did not help him.
Stretch your hand. Reach to the village council. Try to do something.
Why don't the people reach out and say, hey, this artist is trying his best. Let's reach out to do something for that artist. I think if that artist realizes that people are behind him and backing him up and supporting him and pushing him, and just like Jamaicans does to their people, support, just like Trinidad does to their people, supporting that artist and pushing them and making them go forward, that person will never say, but wait a while, these people helped me, these people are where I am today. And they will most likely never forget what the people have done for them. But the thing is, people always try to say, oh, because that artist is going up, I don't want to help that artist. Or because that person is going up, I don't want to help that person. One of the things with me, brothers and sisters, if you see you have a skill set and these things, the number one thing I actually pushing people on is YouTube. I was talking to some of the artists, them, even though they're doing their crazy music sometimes, I talk to them, I say, hey, do this, do that. This will help you organize, promote, it will show as a promotion for you, and all those kind of things there. There's no benefit to me in that regard. But I know if you want to do something, especially trying to do something positive on merit of music, your music might not be positive, but staying away from drugs and, you know, taking people life on these things there is much, is what you're doing is better than doing this, that. Hopefully that as time goes by, you get better and decide, hey, let's elevate and do things better. Because remember, Dominica is kind of like on that trajectory. We had nasty business with nasty business, and now people are more of a positive kind of mind frame to try to elevate this thing. So I think this is very vital right there, brothers and sisters. I think it's vital for us to understand that merit right there. People need to help, not just say the artists need to help people, but the people never help the artists in the first place.
Creative for the youth, the same people that you grew up with. You check me? And help. I don't speak only to give them the world. I don't expect to give them all the money. You check me? But take example on Asa Bantan. Take example on Benji.
I don't think they are good examples on the merit that they actually, yes, don't get me wrong, you know, they have done their thing, they have worked hard, and obviously companies come behind them and they're helping people and so forth and so forth. That's great. Sometimes they even have the very government to help them to do things because they're ambassadors on this kind of things or whatever as a result of the work that they have put in. No doubt about it. But you cannot say the same thing and pinpoint on them and say, okay, well, they're doing this, so why don't these people do this? And they don't have the same leverage. They don't have it. They don't have it at all, brothers and sisters. So you don't expect them to act in the same accordance, so that especially from the very people who never help them. That's another interesting part. Sometimes you help people who help you. You help people who help you. Sometimes you help people who don't help you because of your heart, not of what they done, not of what they have done. Anyways, brothers and sisters, what are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Anyways, brothers and sisters, boy Mystelics, don't forget to click the thumbs up button right there, and of course subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they do tend to come through right there, brothers and sisters. Boy Mystelics, once again, be real, solid king, always be positive.